welcome to the Vibrant Living podcast. Today's conversation, I'm sure, will deeply resonate with so many women, especially those navigating the confusing midlife years. I am joined today by Kimberly, a health and wellness coach who works specifically with women in midlife and menopause. She works to help them rebuild their confidence, restore trust in their bodies, and approach health with wisdom, compassion, and grace. In this episode, we talk really honestly about the shifts women experience during the midlife time, the loss of confidence that can quietly creep in and affect our deep connection. Kimberly brings both professional expertise and personal experience to this conversation. This is not a conversation about perfection, dieting, or chasing someone else's definition of health. It's about coming back to yourself, honoring your body, and what it has carried you through, and learning how to support it. So settle in, grab your favorite beverage or a cup of tea, and join us for a thoughtful, real, hope-filled conversation. Kimberly, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Me
Doing great.
too. Where do you live in the world?
I am in the Midwest, so I live on the west side of the state of Michigan, out on the lakeshore. So another town called Muskegon.
Little town called Muskegon.
hmm
Yes.
Not too little, but little.
Yes. It's not too little. And I live in the Grand Rapids area, so we're having similar weather today.
We are.
As we record this. So tell us a little bit about you.
I am a midlife woman. I'm 59 years old. Been married for years, 36 years, and three adulting kids. All are married, and eighth grandchild on the way.
Mm,
So busy family, right?
yeah.
And my background is in dietetics and food nutrition, and I'll just throw it right out there today. I have a history of disordered eating. So as a teen, as a young woman, I kind of came through that, which led me to study the field that I did when went to college, and just kind of bloomed from there. So,
It's
have
so much more than food, isn't it?
oh, yes, it is. Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
So what are
So
some of the
how,
things you learned going through that?
well, obviously a lot of it's in retrospect, right?
Yeah.
When you go through it at the time, no matter what anyone tells you, until you can form the opinions in your own mind, right? They're hard to cement in. So what I found the most impactful is really learning to love yourself and really knowing that God has created you as a purpose. God has created you as an entity, a human being, and you are perfect. You are perfect in His eyes. And taking that and growing on that as a young woman, as a new mom, as
Yeah.
someone in the health and wellness space, that grew and has, kind of transformed itself many different ways through the decades. So.
And so what are you doing today? What's the passion you're working on?
Today, I am a health and wellness coach for midlife women and helping them take back control of their bodies again, helping to teach them to learn to love their body again and realize the amazing machine that it is.
Yeah. We lose that somewhere along the way where well, I'm not sure we women ever fully get it where we really love our body. If we're really
I,
honest, I
yeah,
think that the comparison thing and what media shows you that we're supposed to look like,
yes,
um, all of those things add to the insecurity
right,
that we have about how we look. And so much of identity is on body features when that's really not the case.
right, right.
But it is really important. And then when you get into midlife and your body starts doing all wonky stuff,
Right. Things you weren't, even though you tried to be, you were not prepared for.
No, and until,
right?
like you said, until you experience it.
Yeah,
And the other thing is every woman's spirit experience is a little bit different, even
sure.
though it's similar.
Oh,
So,
quite different.
yeah,
Mhm.
what does it mean when you begin to do all of that? So tell us some nuggets of things you've learned, and what would you say to a woman that's going through some of this stuff?
Let's start there. Let's start with that. Like what would we tell ourselves 15 years ago or 20 years ago, right? I often have women reflect or encourage them to reflect on if they've had children, just the amazing things their body has done in
Yeah,
having children. Um, that alone is tells us just how remarkable our bodies are.
yeah,
And learning from that and trying to embrace that um, helps, I think, in menopause, because in some ways it's a similar situation. The fact that hormones are reeling, things are changing quite quickly. And I'd say the only two times that that really happens in our body is during puberty, and then again during pregnancy, right? So those
right,
are times that our body is changing very quickly, and we really have very little impact
right,
and to change some of that.
right.
So that is one, learning to love your body and think about what it's been through. And the other thing, you kind of touched on it, is society and the way we
Mm,
see women.
yeah.
Um, I grew up in the 80s, I think we both did,
Hmm.
and skinny. It was skinny everything, right? How thin you could be. Then, as we've seen our daughters' generations come through, body love and really self-accepting in so many ways, but that has kind of taken our course 180 degrees the other way. We have a lot more colon cancer, a lot more PCOS, a lot more other
Obesity.
health related issues with women because
Mhm.
obesity,
Right.
right? Our food supply and obesity. So now I'm going to let you in on a secret. Unfortunately, society is going back to the skinny way again. You're
Yeah.
going to start seeing that in the next couple of years, that these very, very thin social media individuals. So trying to find
Really
that,
unhealthy, by the
pardon
way.
me? Oh, very, I mean, and both of them are, to be
Yes,
honest
both
with
of
you,
them are
both of them are.
unhealthy. What does the
Yes.
real woman look like, right?
Yes, yes. So we really have to go back almost 100 years to kind of say, what does a real woman look like, right? A real active woman,
Yeah,
right? Again, 100 years ago, majority of our society was, active in some ways, whether it was
right,
on a farm or whatever. So trying to see what that body looks like
right.
and work from there. So
Yeah,
yeah, so I'm passionate about helping women find that.
yeah.
Very passionate.
It is important to begin to accept your body wherever it is right now too,
It
so
is.
that
It
you
is.
can find out what healthy looks like for you in
Right.
that stages that's going on. But it's really um you know, looking at my stretch marks and being thankful that my body was able to do that was because anytime you're in childbirth, you believe it's impossible, and it really should be impossible.
Yeah. Yep,
uh,
those on the outside sure think so,
I'm
don't they?
like, but while you're in it, you're like, this is impossible.
Yeah. How is this going to work?
And I'm like, no, I know that this is what I'm told supposed to happen, and maybe I've even done it before, but today it feels impossible.
And magically, it
Yeah,
does,
and then it
right?
works. And so
Yeah.
one of the things that helped me when I was going through menopause is that I personally didn't have anyone in my family alive that had been through menopause.
Okay. Good.
Not naturally. I had
Hmm.
my mother, it was suddenly instead of a natural
Right, right.
flow to it. So I mean, so it's even like, who do I ask? And the internet is an interesting place. You can get all kinds of information.
Yes, you
But one
can.
of the mantras or one of the statements, declarations I begin to say about myself, my body was designed to do this.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
body is designed to do this. And same thing with having the baby. It's like my body was designed to go through this process, just like having the baby. And it's natural, it's supposed to do this. So how can
Mhm.
I help it do it
Right.
the best?
Yeah.
And what is the best way to go? So, what are some of the ways that we can help ourselves, help our body, which is an amazing, only God can design it, this thing.
Right.
It is an
Right.
amazing thing that is designed to heal itself and to go through this. How can we help it to do it naturally or to do it to the best of its ability?
Well, kind of go back to the comment I made about 100 years ago.
Hmm.
If we could go back and eat as best as possible, because our food supply is different nowadays than it was 100 years ago, but if we can go back to eating whole foods as best as possible, stop opening so many packages and boxes. I'll be honest, the search of convenience is
Okay,
killing us. I
correct.
truly believe that. Um,
And it really doesn't take that much longer with some planning.
No, it was a little bit of planning, it really doesn't.
No.
So that is probably the number one way women can start to get their hormones back in balance is to start eating whole foods, start getting in the fiber that we should be getting in. Again, going back to those women, those of us who grew up in the 80s and all of the scientific research that happened then and in the 90s told us carbohydrates were bad. And
Right.
so we cut a lot of fruit out of our diets. We cut a lot of, good complex starches out of our diet, which also house a lot of our fiber.
Right.
So majority of the clients I work with are on some kind of fiber supplement in order to keep their systems regulated,
Right.
which is, it's okay. But trying to get them to eat more whole foods and try to get more of that in a natural setting as possible. And that will help start the ball rolling because most women are very, very surprised when I have them start eating that
Hmm.
way, how much food I'm going to ask them to eat
Yeah.
because they're not used to eating that.
No.
Um, there's a lot more calorically dense food in packages than there are
Yes.
in whole natural foods.
Yep.
So they can eat a whole lot more food.
That's amazing how many baby carrots I can eat with some guacamole compared to a bag of chips. I mean,
Yes, crackers.
I wanted corn chips the other day. I
Mhm.
was having Mexican and and so I counted
Yeah,
out 11 chips
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that was and I'm like 11.
That's a serving,
I
right? That was
used
a
to eat
serving.
half the bag and I'm just
Hmm.
like 11 chips, but then I could eat a whole handful of baby carrots, which are
Yeah,
sweet and
yeah,
fiber rich and has
yep.
vitamins, and then some guacamole with that. I mean, it's
Hmm.
just a completely different feeling of you, how much it
Yeah,
is when you can learn these little tricks to be able
right,
to do
right.
that. I
It,
agree. Fiber is a difficult one to keep my fiber where I want it to be, even
yeah,
though I eat really healthy. I don't open a
and
package for anything.
it's
Um,
even more important for women our age
yeah,
in this perimenopause menopause stage. That's really where we need that increased fiber. It also helps us eliminate the phyto or the pseudoestrogens that are in our
yeah.
body from packaging, packaged food, skincare products, makeups, all the stuff, right? It also helps us eliminate those things out of our system so they do not build up, is not a good estrogen to have in our body.
So if
So
somebody wants to talk to you and learn more, what do they do how can they do that?
they can do it a couple different ways. Obviously, we can share that information through here. I usually set up a one-on-one call
Okay.
consultation just to say, hey, what are you looking for?
Okay.
And we can dig a little bit deeper into that. My website as well is kimberlyanco.com.
Okay.
That's another place to find me. And then social media at Kimberly Anco on Instagram is another great place.
We'll have all those links available to everyone. And
Thanks.
so when they do that, the best next step would be to have a call so that you
Yeah.
can even assess where they are. I'm
Hmm.
sure that they'll walk away with some tips and
Yes.
strategies for themselves, as
Yes.
also how to work with you to get
Yes.
that ongoing support. Because we all know that we can Google a lot of stuff, but implementing it is a whole nother story.
Correct.
So I know I'm supposed to eat fiber. How do I do that? How do I do
Right.
it with my lifestyle, with what's going on in
Mhm.
my life? Or how do I increase my protein? What's the
Yep.
balance that I'm supposed to have for where I am and what's going on in
Right.
my body? All of
Exactly.
those kind of questions, you're going to help them get a
Correct.
personalized plan that's going to help
Correct.
them with that accountability and ease.
And you said it, accountability,
Correct.
because that is part of it. What I also see, and I'm pretty sure you see this as well in working with women, I can't imagine you don't. We don't hold ourselves accountable. We do not keep a promise to ourselves.
Yeah,
And we always say it's willpower or motivation.
it
We
is.
just don't, we're not important to ourselves enough to keep a promise to ourselves. That is something that I'm personally been working on very diligently in the last couple of years. And I think that is a great starting point for women, even when it's small little promises to
Yeah,
say, okay, I'm going to go for a walk today, done, right?
yeah,
And get those going. And it starts the ball rolling. And so on our phone calls, we do talk about those things. We'll talk about lifestyle. We'll talk about, like you said, the tips of fiber and macros and some things like that without getting too far into the
right.
weeds. So,
That sounds perfect. Oh,
yeah,
I will look forward to sharing all of that. Kimberly, thank you for
thank
all that you
you.
do to help women.
Oh, thank you.
And so
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. It is so needed. There is so many women who are suffering, and the only way they know how to feel themselves, make themselves feel better is just another bowl of ice cream. I mean, I've been there, done that, and
Bowl of ice cream or
just
a glass of wine.
or something
Mhm.
like that. And
Yep.
we're just satiating the symptoms and not really dealing with how we can truly, because this can be one of the most vibrant times of our life.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
really can. We
definitely.
we have a lot less monthly issues, if you will.
Well, we do. And I'll be honest, a lot of us, our kids are grown and out of the house. They're
Correct.
adulting. Not that, things can't be stressful there, but you don't have the day to day,
Correct. Absolutely.
with the run around of kids, et cetera. So yeah, it is a great time. It can really be a great time.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I hope everyone
Yeah,
listening reaches out to Kimberly because either you're going through it or you know someone who is. And so
definitely. Definitely.
have a conversation with Kimberly and learn some things on way to go forward longer than we can take in this time together. Again,
Yeah.
Kimberly, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, Donna. Thanks for having me.
As we wrap up today's conversation, I want to leave you with this. Your body is not failing you. Your body is not broken. Your body was designed by God to walk you through every season of life, and He loves you. Midlife doesn't need to be a season of decline. It can be a season of wisdom and clarity and vitality and renewed hope. I love the word vitality. That's when we learn how to partner with our bodies instead of fighting them. So, if Kimberly introduced something to you today that makes you want to learn more, I encourage you to take the next step and schedule a call with her. Having someone to walk alongside you is priceless. You will find all the links in the show notes, including how to connect with her for a conversation. As always, remember information is helpful, but transformation happens when we are supported, seen, and guided with care. If you would like more space to talk and pray and gain clarity around this season that it may be in your life, you're always welcome to connect with me as well. Sometimes one honest conversation can bring so much peace and direction. Thank you for joining us on the Vibrant Living podcast and share this with someone you love. There is so much more ahead for this year. And until next time, live gently, live wisely, choose love, and live vibrantly. Bye for now.